Good morning. My name is Hitesh Acharya, and it is my pleasure to welcome you all this professional training series on the regulatory affairs in the pharmaceutical designated for both students and the industrial professionals. I have been working in the field of regulatory affairs over 35 years, during which I have had an opportunity to work closely with the pharmaceutical development, regulatory submission, compliance, and the interaction with various regulatory agencies. Over these years, I have witnessed the significant evolution of the regulatory requirement and the increasing importance of the regulatory strategy in the successful development and approval of the pharmaceutical products. Regulatory affairs plays a critical role in ensuring that medicine developed by the pharmaceutical company meets the required standard of the quality, safety, and efficacy, while also complying with the regulatory regulations of the different countries and the regulatory agencies. The purpose of this training series is to share the practical knowledge, regulatory insights, and the real world experience that can help students understand career opportunity in the regulatory affairs and assist professionals in strengthening their regulatory expertise. I hope this session will provide valuable learning and help you to gain a clear understanding of the regulatory landscape in the pharmaceutical industries. Thank you for joining and let us begin. As I say, the purpose of this training series is to understand the regulatory affairs in the pharmaceutical industries, learn global regulatory requirements, understand the ICS guidelines and their importance, prepare students and professionals for the regulatory affairs careers, provide practical regulatory knowledge and use in the industries. What is the regulatory affairs? Regulatory affairs is basically the specialized function in the pharmaceutical, biotechnology, and medical device industries. We are responsible for the ensuring that product meets its safety, quality, and efficacy requirement by the health authority before they reach to the markets. Why regulatory affairs is important? See, being a regulatory affairs person, we have to ensure the patient safety and product quality, support global product registration, maintain compliance with the international regulatory requirements, enable faster market access. That is one of the key aspects that product has to be reached in the market as soon as possible. Protect companies from the regulatory risks and maintaining the life cycle of the products. There are key regulatory authorities like CDSO who regulates the marketing authorization in India, USFDA, EMEA, MHRA, PMDA, that is Pharmaceutical and Medical Device Agency Japan, and TGA, that is a Therapeutic Good Administration Australia, ANVISA, that is a Brazil Health Authority, COFEPRIS, that is a Mexican Federal Regulatory Agency, Gulf, that is a Gulf Corporation Council, which is a regulatory body of the Bahrain, Kuwait, Oman, Qatar, Saudi Arabia, and the United Arab Emirates. NPRA, that is a National Pharmaceutical Regulatory Agency, Malaysia. INVIVA, that is a National Institute of the Drug Food Surveillance, Colombia. We'll discussing about the key regulatory responsibility of the regulatory affairs person. During the strategic planning, we are assisting the development team to finalize the regulatory pathway for the product development, clinical trials, and ultimately the commercializations. And as a part of the documentation and submissions, we are preparing the regulatory dossiers and submitting to the agency, managing product registration and its approval, ensuring the regulatory compliance, and liaising with the regulatory authorities. We also need to assure the compliance and lifecycle management by handling the post-marketing variations, renewals, labeling changes, and the advertising compliance. Interact with the authorities, assist in audits and the inspections, monitoring and evolving the law and guidance to advise the internal teams, R&D, quality on the necessary adaptations. Regulatory professions are crucial for the securing, maintaining, and protecting a company's market presence. We have to be vigilant for changing the various regulatory aspects across the globe and also guide the different departments and their cross-functional team. That is one of the key responsibility of the regulatory affairs person. Important regulatory submission include dossier in the CTD, that is Common Technical Document Template, or ECT, that is Electronic Common Technical Document Template, or as per the national guideline. Bioequivalence Trial Information Form, that is BTI form, as per the country specific requirements. Quality Information Summary and the Quality Overall Summary in the country specific template wherever it is applicable. Risk Management Plan, registration sample as per the country specific requirement, legal documents like COPP, FSC, manufacturing permission, GMP certificate, annual reports of the product change history, annual product quality review reports or the PQR, post safety updates reports, that is PSUR, post marketing surveillance report, that is PMSR. Regulatory professions should have a thorough knowledge of the global regulatory guidelines. They should have a scientific understanding of the pharmaceutical product. They should be good in the technical documentation and the regulatory writing. He should be able to be attentive to the details and the accuracy of the submitted documents. He should be good in the communications and the negotiation skill to get the work done from the cross-functional team. The soft skill requirement for the regulatory affairs person is the analytical thinking, problem solving, time management, cross-function collaboration, and the team building, strategic thinking, meticulous, hardworking, and ability to interpret regulatory guidance beyond the written text. So basically, he should be very clear in understanding the interpretation of the regulatory guidelines and able to understand the word which is not written in the guidance also. So he should be aware about the background of the guidelines and the requirements. Career opportunity in regulatory affairs. There are various industries like pharmaceutical company, biotechnological company, medical devices company, nutraceutical and the food industries, cosmetic industries, clinical research organization, and regulatory service provider requiring the regulatory affairs professionals. There is enormous growth in the Indian regulatory affairs market is expected to grow by the CAGR of 9.1% from the 2023 to 2030. Increase in the outsourcing to India for the cost-effective, high-quality regulatory services is driving these expansions. Key growth drivers are the expansion of the pharmaceutical industries, the need of adhering to the complex international regulatory standards, and the growth of emerging fields like biotechnology, gene therapy, and the personalized medicine. There will be a job opportunity of more than 29,000 new jobs are anticipated in these sectors, with high demand for the roles in regulatory writing, publishing, and the dossier submissions. Other roles include the regulatory strategy, pharmacovigilance, and the international liaising officers. So thank you for being patient. So we'll be covering the various topics like overview of the ICH guidance, ICHQ series, that is a quality guidance, bioequivalence and the bio requirements, bio waiver requirements, global regulatory submission pathways, life cycle management, and post-approval changes in forthcoming presentation. Thank you. Thank you for your attention. Please follow this training series for more learning on ICH guidelines and the global regulatory requirements. Thank you.